Let's talk about evidence, right? As a company, right? And the type of things that you're working on. What attracted me in terms of what you guys are working on is that we very much looked at this world of digital asset. There's the kind of super speculative side, and then there's the side where you're focused on being compliant, investor protection, right, regulation, and so on and so forth. And I think the last 12, 18 months, we're starting to see a lot of very institutions getting into the game, like BlackRock, Fidelity, UBS, State Street, and so on. And we can go on and on. In fact, I think the Hong Kong government was the first government in the world that actually tokenized green bond, right? I think they've done it twice already, right? 800 million Hong Kong dollar in the first year in 2023. Last year they did it again, and then obviously they're going to do another tranche this year. So I think you're seeing institutional money, foreign governments kind of going into this space. Do you think this is now where we're starting to kind of really mature? We're moving away from the crazy NFT, that's also tokenization of some assets, right? Digital arts and whatnot. Are you starting to see where that industry is going now?
Yeah. So let's start with the crazy space, because it's very important to recognize we need that crazy space. There's a lot of innovations out of that. Right. For the people inside it, it's totally not crazy.
That's true.
With meme coins and shit coins, all of that.
Yeah.
It's part of the broader ecosystem that's actually really important. In our company, we have something that we call steal good things.
Steal good things?
Steal good things. We took a lot of elements that really were established by people in the crypto space who may not have had a financial economist background and said, you know what, I'm just going to build this from the ground up.
Right.
And they ask a lot of very good questions. Why? Why questions? Why are we doing it this way? And then, in the traditional way, I think you have to be open enough to say, actually, those are very good questions.
Right.
And those solutions are very interesting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for that. When I started Evident, just, my DNA is a bit more traditional traditional finance.
Yeah.
And a bit more boring, you could say, yes. So for me, it was
boring is good. I've been telling people, in my business as well, right? I'm just tokenizing money. That's as boring as it gets.
Maybe even more boring. That's why we're friends. so you could say, from day one, because of that, was clear we need to get licensed.
Right.
Licensing is a piece of infrastructure for a company like us. It creates value.
Yes.
Because you get trusted, number one, and number two, it opens up all the traditional counterparties.
Right.
We're now working since the beginning of the year. I've actually talked to the top. Since last week, actually, two of the global top 5 wealth management.
Oh wow! It's amazing. Amazing.
So they couldn't work with a counterparty, the tokenizers doing this thing that is not licensed.
Yes.
It's just not possible.
Yes.
But it is also a segue to answer the question on market adoption. Yes, this topic is arriving on the institutional side. We're far from, I would say, it really being broadly adopted, but we see that inflection point is happening. And you mentioned a few names. One I always highlight is BlackRock.
Right.
Reshaping, January 2024. CNBC interview.
Yeah.
Said, and I was sitting up on my chair, I couldn't believe it. He said, okay, so yeah, this Bitcoin ETF thing, that's happening, but that's just the first step.
Right.
To this new digital infrastructure in finance. And in the end, we will tokenize all financial instruments.
Right.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
And then in March, they launched what today is Biddle.
Yeah.
It's $700 million, something like that. Was in 40 days, it was the largest tokenization fund in the world. So that was a watershed moment.
Yeah.
Where all the others said, okay, the largest asset manager in the world is doing it. They're building it on Ethereum.
That's right.
Public permissionless.
Yes.
Which was a big debate.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. With the regulators, everybody. Oh, why not build it on private blockchains? That's okay. First of all, it's not blockchain.
Right? Yes.
If it's private, it's just some kind of database.
Right.
It's not blockchain. So that really completely shifted the discussion. And since then, we've only seen growth.
Yeah.
Companies like us and others.